I'm just now leaving the Canelo Khan fight. On my way back to the house. And of course I wasn't paying for that. Nah, I sees that for free. Or we don't watch it at all. Listen, I hate to take credit for something like that, and it's like, oh, you was 100% right. I think the consensus of the entire world knew that was gonna happen. But I don't want any of these fans talking to me about this speed crap. I keep telling you, that don't win you no doggone fight. You gotta have some skill mixed in, and this is why we have weight classes. It's because we knew Khan was way too small. It's not about how much weight he can put on and make the weight. It's can you take what the other fighter can deliver, because he's a big boy naturally. So he's used to delivering those hard punches on bigger men. You're not bigger. You're not used to taking those type of blows from big men. And it's going to be a whole new experience for you. Now, especially when you look at your career, they put you in with light guys, light fighters. You were fighting 135 fighters at 147 pounds. You fought nobody with power when you Khan. They built him up for stuff like this to fool you in imagination. Like a lot of people like, Khan won the first 3 rounds. What you talking about? Khan didn't win no first 3 rounds. I gave Amir Khan the first round. The second round, and that was only because Canelo gave it to him. Canelo trying to get him out of there with 1 punch in the first round, if he timed him right. The second round, Canelo missed a lot too, but he also was landing at a very high rate. And I said, wow. Canelo's going right to his body, making him move. That's what you want to do from Amir Khan. You want him exerting a lot of energy. He has a lot of nervous energy. Khan fights with nervous energy like he's got a ball fist. Exactly the way I told you. And I told you how he was going to get knocked out and everything. I said he's going to drop his left hand because he's always thinking about speed and not defense. And he keeps his left hand low. So he's going to get hit with the right. And Canelo's going to see that and try to knock him out. And this is it. You know, I mean, it's exactly what I told you. Khan knew he was going to get knocked out in probably the second round. He was trying not to, he was at a point where he was trying not to get knocked out. He was pushing his punches. When you see him, he's not even throwing punches with any authority. He's just flicking shots, like trying to score. You know, besides that first round when he landed that right hand, that was the only one he threw, and he didn't really throw that right. He doesn't know how, he has no footwork as far as balance when he's throwing punches. His feet are all over the place. He is not accustomed to fighting at this pace with a big man. And Canelo cut the ring off perfectly because Khan makes a mistake when he circles. He takes a couple steps back first, and he moves the same direction every time. Just like I said, moving the wrong foot first. And he puts all the weight on his left foot, and that's what got him knocked out. It got him knocked out, and he was timed perfectly for that right hand. Canelo was looking for that shot, and he finally got a chance to get it. Let me put this down. People are trying to hit me up and talk about the fight. But, I mean, what's more to say? I mean, Canelo starts, and I want people to see this now because they actually bought into the promotion of speed versus power. You see how fast he was out of it? Amir Khan, how fast he was out of the fight? In 3-4 rounds, he was gassed from them body punches. You could see the mark on his ribs, the bruises, from when Canelo was tagging him with them rights to his body. And just because he's standing up and he's smiling don't mean he don't feel those punches. He wasn't moving around as much anymore. He was standing a little flat-footed after those shots and was standing in front of Canelo. Canelo just didn't open up on him. He still wanted Khan to use his energy to come towards him. HBO is just very stupid. You have very dumb commentators who just trying to sell an agenda. They're trying to go with Amir Khan no matter what to try to make it look like Khan was in the fight. So at the end of the fight, you fought tremendous. He didn't fight tremendous. He fought terrible. He fought like a scared boy who was trying to survive instead of a guy who was trying to set Canelo up, use his jab. He stopped jabbing. He did everything Amir Khan normally does that get him knocked out. He starts looking. He's leaning forward, putting all his weight on his front foot and looking at the opponent. And then he's getting hit in the face with jabs. He's moving, getting out jab, getting his punches. You can see him coming now. You slipping him. He's slowing down. And it's round 3. It's round 4. He's getting beat even worse. Round 5 was like a beat down. And then round 6, it was epidemic. I thought 8 rounds and he'll be out. I said about 8 rounds, then his fight shouldn't go past 8. We didn't get there. It was 6 rounds. There you go. So, one shot put him to sleep. This ain't nothing you can't keep bouncing up from knockdowns. It was a resounding knockdown in which this gonna keep you down for a while. Khan was lucky he got back up. But this is why you don't make these type of fights. You can get a guy killed for making these type of fights. It's people's lives. No matter how stupid the fighter is to take it for the money, the fight he should have fought was against Kell Brook. But if he want to get knocked out, he want to say, oh, I took the risk, so now I can go back down to 147. Come on, let's go, Kell Brook. Kell Brook is going to knock you out too. You knew that. See, when a fighter have got 4 losses and they've been knocked out 3 out of the 4 losses, it's already in their mind they going to lose. They might lose the fight, and it's a reality, and they accept it. Like, you know what? He's right, I might lose. So it's already in his brain. So if a fighter has in his brain that, okay, I might lose, it's acceptable. So he was going into the fight trying to make himself believe he could win the fight, but he went in there trying to survive. And then after 2 rounds, he was basically in survival mode. If you gave Khan 2 rounds, that's you. I gave him the first round and I ain't give him another one. But some people gave him 2 rounds. Perfectly fine. Some people tried to give him 3 rounds, which was completely stupid because he wasn't landing any punches. So, all I know, wipe out, totally unnecessary fight. It meant nothing. It should have been Triple G, since if they was standing on their ground and wanting to strip somebody and WBC want to put their foot down and make the fight happen. This fight shouldn't have been made. And it definitely shouldn't have been a pay-per-view fight. Nothing about this card said pay-per-view. Amir Khan and Canelo Alvarez. Khan, who hasn't fought in a year, who was just fighting on PBC, now he's fighting on a pay-per-view fight against Canelo Alvarez. Get out of here. It's not a pay-per-view fight. So we're steady watching non-pay-per-view fights on HBO. So what does that tell you? And look how they always got to put down the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. If you thought it was such a dud and so boring, give back your check. You got paid for it. I bet you like the check you got from the fight. Give your check back. Say, I don't like this. This fight was a dud. It's a dud because your guy lost. Well, the fight didn't happen when they were supposed to give it to us. That's because of your guy. Remember, he didn't want to take the drug test, and you supported him. So your guy and y'all stupidity is the reason why the fight didn't happen. If he'd have took the drug test, he would have got beat up a long time ago. And then they wouldn't have made as much money. They made 4 to 5 times more than what they would have got paid initially. So actually they did fight when they were supposed to fight, because the results was going to be the same, if not worse. Floyd would have been a lot younger and definitely wouldn't have been hit with probably none of the shots he got hit with in that fight. Pacquiao would have been more active. Oh, really? He would have just threw a lot of punches anyway when he getting jabbed in the face. Y'all keep looking at the Cotto fight and the Hatton fight like that's Mayweather. People fight Mayweather don't throw a lot of punches. That's just it. They punch stat drops. He fought Floyd, his punch stat dropped. It's natural. If something happened that was abnormal, then you would complain. But if you see Floyd Mayweather punch stat and the fighters that fight him in all of his fights, they punch stats from whoever they fought previously drop, why would you assume that it would be better years down the road? It just doesn't make any sense. Boxing knowledge and logic would tell you statistically that's stupid. Why would you believe all of a sudden something's gonna change? If something was red 27 times in a row, I'm not finna say it's finna go black on 28. That's just dumb. Listen, I'm a realist. And as far as Canelo fighting Triple G, let's see it. Let's get it. Because what they doing is deflecting. Canelo's like, I ain't afraid of nobody. I'll fight him right now. Let's get the fight going. And then it's Oscar's job to do the deflecting. Oh, well, you see, we got to get everything in order so it can be a bigger fight. So everyone can prosper and make money. And when they talk like that, then they're saying, oh, this is what you blame Floyd for. But yet, you agree, all the promoters are telling HBO, it needs to get juicy. It needs to get juicy. Well, it ain't gonna get no more juicier than this. They let y'all have one fight in between to get it juicy. Now it's juicy. I mean, it's gonna sell with Canelo and Triple G. You want a good fight? There it is. Why Golovkin won't go down 2 pounds at a compromise of 157? Why Canelo can't go past 155? Somebody's playing games. They don't want the fight. You figure out which camp don't want the fight. Golovkin fought anybody from 154 to 168 or whatever he said. I mean, I understand why they want Golovkin Triple G to go down to 155. And they're going to try to get him as weak as possible in the fight. But, hey, some concessions have to be made to make the fight happen, and that's what has to happen. Ain't that what happened with the Mayweather fight? Concessions had to be made in order for the bout to be made. But I know what they want. Golovkin's like, look, just give us the belt, so when they come back around again, we'll be the one in the driver's seat dictating shots. But it don't work that way. The belts don't hold weight like they used to. That works for mediocre fighters. Canelo don't need a belt. He got the audience. He's got the fan base. The guy with the fan base controls what happens. Oscar De La Hoya didn't have a belt no more. He was still calling shots. Why? Because he put butts in the seats. That's who matters. The people who put butts in the seats. You go to their town. Why you think people was fighting in Canada? You think Pascal and Kovalev, why do you think they kept fighting over there in Canada? Because Pascal put butts in the seats. People come to see him in Canada. Just because he's Canadian, not because he's good. That's what matters. So the fight is going to sell. All you have to do is make it. Both sides need to come to an agreement and get the fight done. Because I don't want to see another HBO type fight for Canelo put on pay-per-view. Because I'm not going to pay. You're not going to stick me. Now, they're trying to do a fight with Miguel Cotto in a rematch. That don't happen. They're looking at David Lemieux. They already talked to David Lemieux's people after David Lemieux's fight. They talked to him before that and told him to ask for Canelo if he won. Yeah, I know that. So once he won, he started asking for the winner of the Canelo fight. Now, David Lemieux, Canelo, really? Would HBO buy that to put it? But they don't have to. They'll put it right on pay-per-view and let the fans decide if that's the fight they want to see. So HBO is going to talk down on it and try to, make it as biased as possible. Everybody's hitting me up. Gee. But I've taken up enough of your time. The breakdown was just that. I mean, Khan's only fast in combination, like I told you, and he don't commit on his punches. He fights a very amateur style. It's you hit a wall, and once you hit a wall, it's like, where you gonna go? Because the talented people in boxing, that stuff ain't gonna work on. It's not gonna work with the talented fighters. The smaller guys, yeah, you can bully them, push them around, because they really want 35 fighters who can't make the weight no more. So yeah, you could beat them. But anybody of stature at the 147 level, like Kell Brook, no, he can't win. It's not a diss of Amir Khan. Amir Khan, you have a lot of heart. You have a lot of heart, but sometimes heart ain't enough. And I'm out.